I'm Mike.
And I'm Adam.
And this is Stuff and Waffle. Two friends talking about stuff, and often as not, waffling with frequent reference to Bond cars.
You may have seen, towards the end of November, a certain famous film car is coming up for auction, I believe in early January.
Okay.
And it's a no prizes for guessing it's a car that I really quite like. And it is from the 1995 film Bad Boys.
Ah, okay.
And it is the car from the film, the 911 Turbo.
I was thinking it would probably be that one. I hadn't seen that, actually, that was coming up. But
yeah, that's coming up. So that's, as far as I know, that it's a 94 model. So that means the turbo you want, the 964 3.6 variant. Because if you sort of go back through the history of the 964, there was a turbo that preceded it, 3.3, which is basically the 930 G series turbo engine in a 964 body, essentially. I mean,
okay,
gotcha. there was more done to it, but it was kind of an afterthought rather than we're making a proper turbo, whereas this one was the proper one.
Was the one. Very good. Yeah.
Less
than 350 produced, apparently, for the US market.
Okay. That does sound right. And I don't know, look, I love the 964 turbo.
Everyone loves the 964, don't they? I mean, that's why it's the darling of the retro fitters and modders and EV conversions and all that. It's the one everyone's using.
Yeah.
Like you've said, oh, please leave it alone. Let's leave some original.
It's if they're taking to bits 3.6 turbos, then I'm going to kick off.
Yes.
You got to think those cars are particularly the Bad Boys one in black. They got those split rim alloys. Just menacing thing.
It is a lovely looking thing. Yeah.
Worth noting as well that the 964 turbo was the last 911 turbo to be rear wheel drive.
Oh, okay.
When they went to the 993, became 4-wheel drive.
Okay.
Obviously, if you exclude GT2s, those are still they're still in the range these days. That's basically a hardcore 2-wheel drive turbo.
Okay.
But this is the last proper 2-wheel drive.
Quite 335 brake horsepower, apparently.
Yeah, that sounds sounds about right. Anything
with the license plate Bad Boys 2. So that's yes.
I don't think that's the genuine license plate for it.
No,
particularly if you've got the number 2 on it, because it wasn't in number 2.
No. No, sorry, I misread it. It is Bad Boys 1.
Okay,
yes,
that's all right. I was going to say, because I've touched on before that I get grumpy about Bad Boys 2, where the used in it throughout the chase sequence constantly changes between a 550 and a 575.
You have mentioned that, that they had 2 cars, but they weren't the same. Yes.
Yeah, it grinds my gears a little. That
it's bad. That this looks very clean and tidy. This particular car. I'm just looking at some auction pictures of it.
Yeah, it does look good, doesn't it? I think that is
very neat and tidy. Yeah, lovely.
It's got some miles on it. When I looked, I think it was 34,000 something miles.
Okay.
It was, I think, at the time of filming, I think it was owned by the director.
Yes, that confirms what I've read here. Yes,
and then sold to one of the producers. I don't know if it was one of the producers of the film or just a film producer in general. Can't remember his name. And
Michael Bay, but was later sold to film producer Pat Sandstone.
okay, yeah, there's that sounds right. And then it was
It was sold a few more times
fine.
and then purchased by the current owner in 2014.
That's it. It did sit in a collection in between uh,
Okay.
the current owner and the film producer. I think it was. I don't know the name of the person, but it was in quite a fancy collection.
It has undergone a couple of light restorations since it was used in the movie. And it was present at the red carpet premiere for Bad Boys for Life in January 2020.
Oh yes. I'll confess, I've still not seen the third film. I forgot it was a thing, to be honest.
Yes, indeed. I haven't seen it. However, what you say about it being quite high mileage does not appear to be the case.
No,
Um,
I could have
it
swore
says
it
it
was.
is today in mint condition and has covered just 34,396 miles.
Oh, that's what I thought. I said 34,000 thing. I
Oh,
just
did you?
thought,
Oh, sorry.
I
Okay.
thought
Well, that's not
this.
high.
I mean, for a film car, that's reasonable, I'd say.
Oh, well, I suppose. Yeah, it depends. Yeah, I suppose what its life was like before it was a film car.
Mm.
Um, yes, I suppose. But I mean, generally speaking, that is very low.
Um, the only thing, actually, while we touched on the fact that that was at the premiere of the new
Mhm.
film, the only thing I know about Bad Boys for Life is that they used a 911 Carrera 4S, a 992. So I'm very pleased they went back to Porsche.
Yes. Well, you would be, wouldn't you? Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
uh, yeah, I was very content about that.
Yes, that's being auctioned in Florida in January.
So,
So the auction house has yet to give an estimate as to the sale price. Um,
um, I mean, it's not going to go down in history as one of the most famous films,
oh
but
no, not at all, not
I
at all.
still think it's going to command a decent price, though.
Well, it's a mint condition, low mileage 964. So,
Yeah,
and
of
those have gone up a lot.
that's it.
Um,
And this is the turbo variant that you want, the 3.6.
yeah, absolutely.
And well, you Will Smith's had a drive of it, so that's got to do
It's had
something
Will
for it.
Smith's bum in it, hasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go. So
yeah.
if you're into that sort of thing, that will
Oh,
help.
there'll be a seat sniffer out there somewhere, all up in that.
Ugh.
Yeah, but I suppose the big
Oh.
question is, I mean, obviously it's going to be auctioned off in Florida. Like you said,
Mm.
the thing we're all going to be interested in is, does it have enough provenance to hit the magic seven figures?
Good question, isn't it? It's a very good question.
I'd probably say yes with the stupidity of prices at the moment.
Yeah, prices are sky high anyway, aren't they? Even for stuff that doesn't have any provenance. Um, but conversely, as you say, it's not exactly the most famous car in the world. Um,
No, not at all. I mean, but I mean,
maybe.
I
Yeah,
think
maybe.
Bad Boys has got enough of a following, I'd say, hasn't it?
Yes, it has, and it's a desirable car anyway.
Yeah, I think a '90s film. There's plenty of '90s nostalgia going on.
Yeah, there is. There is. It could do it. I agree. It could do it. Yeah, especially with the way things are, that could snowball a bit, couldn't it?
Yeah, and I suppose when I'm saying seven figures, if it's being auctioned in America, I mean in dollars.
Yes. Of
So I think,
course. Yeah.
yeah. So I think that's. I'm going to go with yes. I reckon it'll do it.
You gonna go for that? Are you putting a cheeky bid?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was going to say maybe we should pool resources.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's say that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we know we're under no illusions that we're going to be even involved in the bidding, but
No, we're
um,
going to be nowhere near that. But it's yeah. There we are. I wouldn't. I wouldn't be upset if that appeared on the driveway.
no, you wouldn't, would you?
No, you wouldn't. That's
Oh no,
lovely.
glorious air-cooled flat six noises
Oh,
and
in
tear your
black.
face off speed.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be very
Oh,
nice. Yeah.
I tell you what, there is this kind of people are torn in terms of color, but the original press car that was in the UK
Mm.
for the 3.6964 turbo that would have been like this one, probably 93, 94,
Yeah.
was in mint green.
Okay. Yes, I think I knew that.
And my goodness me, I really think it's glorious. But it's not for everyone as colours go.
No, they did green 911s before, didn't they? I mean, I don't know all the names and model numbers, but wasn't there a 70s one that was in that color?
Yeah, I think so. It's a colour that's done the rounds, and
Yeah, it
it's
is.
let me send you the exact colour. Unfortunately, the press car is no more. It got
You've told us
it,
that before, I think.
yeah,
Yeah,
it got completely mullered,
yeah.
as I suppose is a hazard if you are a press car.
It is a risk. Yeah, absolutely. It
There
can
you go.
happen.
Have a photo.
Let's have a photo here. Yeah, oh my word. Yes.
Proper mint green, isn't it?
That is green.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
I,
That's not the green I was thinking of.
That's because
Mm.
I remember Tiff Needell driving it on Top Gear.
Oh, of course he did. Yes.
And am I right in thinking? I think to put it through its paces, because he was, I think, as the piece went, he was questioning whether it was a proper turbo after the 3.3 attempt. Basically, like I said, the 930G series rammed in a 964.
Yeah.
He said, "Well, actually, I think this needs to earn its place." I think he took it to Millbrook
Right. Yeah.
to
Well,
give
they
it proper,
often did go there.
yeah,
Yeah.
to give it a
Yeah.
proper going over, and he loved it.
Yeah. Very
Uh,
good.
yes,
Yes. Yes. That's got it all going on, isn't it?
it
Yes.
does. So watch this
Well, we
space on that
love
one.
we love a movie car, and well, you're rather partial to a Porsche, so
Yeah, and I got a bit of time for a bit of Bad Boys. It's obviously
yeah,
90s cheese, isn't it? Does the job.
it is 90s cheese. It's Will Smith. We all like a bit of Will Smith.
Well, of course. So
Yeah.
that was good. And hey, who else did we have in that? Oh, the lady interest in it was Tia Leone, wasn't it?
Oh, I suppose it was. Yeah, it's a long
Yeah.
time since I've seen it.
Yes,
But yes.
that was back when she was still married to Mulder. What's his name? David Duchovny. That's it.
David Duchovny. Yeah, indeed.
Ah, yes.
Oh, that.
Oh, all the nice
Yes.
nostalgia. See, I'm all
Oh,
over.
and that,
I'm
you
all
are.
over
You
it.
you've got it all at
But
your fingertips. Yeah.
well, particularly as well because during the COVID best bed rest, it was I ploughed through. Good God, I think I got to halfway went from the start about halfway through series 5 of X Files.
Oh, good man. Oh, that's the vintage era. Yeah, yeah, that was proper X-Files in those days.
Yeah. So,
Yes, well done.
but yes, I don't have quite so much lying down time now, so the episodes are going in much slower.
Much like your Crown Victorias everywhere. Yes,
Everywhere.
everywhere. Yes.
There was yeah, there was never anything. There wouldn't nothing stunning in that, was there?
Oh no, not at all. No, 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 not at all. But that's not what it's about.
No, and you think, well, actually, that was 90s America, Canada, where it was
Well,
very
it
much all film.
was absolutely. It was just a sea of mediocrity.
It was
Yes.
all just dreary. However, there's a bit of a nostalgia point. There was um, a dead body discovered in a K10 Micra. I can't even.
Really?
Yeah, I can't even remember which episode it was, but I thought,
I don't remember that. That's
yeah,
fantastic. Oh, but that's the only time that's ever happened.
yeah. And as I recall, I think it was kind of the person who killed her being sci-fi, and that had done her up in some sort of weird webbing or cocoon type affair.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, there were a few episodes where stuff like that happened. Yeah, I seem to recall there was one with a park ranger got cocooned inside his Jeep Wrangler.
That was it. Yeah,
Yes,
that was series 1 with uh, the bugs that came out at dark.
that's right. The
The
little
green
green
bugs.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure that was a Jeep Wrangler.
Yes. Yeah.
Um,
He didn't
yeah.
fare well. No, not at all.
No, didn't go. That's what happens if you drive a tent. Yes.
No. Panel gaps like that, the bugs are getting in, isn't they?
Oh, yeah, I have. Yes, I've been in some Jeep Wranglers, and they are like that. Yes, it's very flappy. Yes,
Ugh.
you're not like that.
No.
No,
No. That's the thing. Having now ploughed through much of X, I realise this is not remotely interesting in terms of cars.
no, it's not. I mean, you can spot the different generations of Crown Victoria. That's about as interesting as you're going to get.
Occasionally, you'll find something parked on the side of the road that might be vaguely interesting, but it's not there on purpose. It happened to be on that street
It
filming, I think.
was an accident. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Mulder and Scully only ever drove dreary rubbish, either FBI issue stuff or hire cars, and it was just Crown Vics, and we all love a Crown Vic, but
You do, yeah. But yeah,
Crown Vics, Chryslers, all it was just
yeah.
nonsense.
There was seeing they had Ford Taurus, Buick Sentries,
Yes,
just dreary, utter
dreary
toss.
nonsense. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right. Yes, no, it's not a Car Spotters series. No,
not at all. However, I mean, we know that Gillian Anderson's quite keen on a vehicle. She
well,
likes a Porsche.
she's a Porsche girl, isn't she?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
yeah.
likes a Porsche. I was
Hasn't she got
pleased.
a Land Rover Defender as well? Well, she certainly
Uh,
used to have a Land Rover Defender at
I'm
one
not
point, I think.
entirely sure, but fair play if she did. That's not
Sure, I read that somewhere.
well.
I'm going in. I'm going to look
Okay,
that
yeah,
up
you double
because
check
I'm
that.
sure she had a
I'd
Land
like
Rover Defender.
confirmation on that.
Yes, I know the Porsche was during early X Files, wasn't it? That she got that because they were having to travel up to Canada a lot,
Yeah, it
and
was all
she
filmed in and
bought it
around
for that.
Vancouver, wasn't it?
That's right. Right, that's
Um,
why every other episode's got a wood in it. Yeah.
yeah, plenty of that to go around.
Mm.
Because you think as well. I don't know if it's a series you saw that in his later career, David Coveney did Californication.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
that was quite car heavy. I remember
Yeah.
like for instance, the first episode, his character Hank Moody drove a 964 Cabriolet. I mean, just rough as a badger's arse as well.
Yes.
It was awful,
Absolutely.
absolutely destroyed. But one car that cropped up was a Ford GT, the early 2000s one.
Oh, okay.
I think that's someone's doing this on purpose.
Yeah, you would think I might be talking complete bobbins about the Land Rover. I'm just
Oh, that's a shame. But if
yeah,
she is still
definitely
driving a Porsche, I'm happy.
don't know about that. It looks like it may have been a Toyota Land Cruiser, not a Land Rover Defender.
Well, if it's a Land Cruiser, then that's the correct choice because it'll still be functional.
A 1977 Toyota Land Cruiser.
Really?
So, yeah.
Good heavens.
Apparently so. Yes, this is popping up on more than one website. 1977 Toyota Land Cruiser FJ40.
Oh. Oh, well done.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty battered with very, very faded red paint. There's a picture of her actually in it there, so that kind of proves it, doesn't it?
Wow. Well, that's
Well, there you go. There's a revelation. But I know she was into. I know she had at least one 911, probably multiple.
yes. Yeah, I can get on board with that.
Yes, there we go.
Oh, have you found some of Gillian and Porsche?
I'm just on the case because I know you'll have an accident in a minute. Let's
Just
see. See if we can find out a bit about that. Here we go. Lots of pictures of smiley Gillian. Oh, no, that's not. No, that's the 964 Cabrio that you mentioned a few moments ago.
Yeah, that'll be Mr. Hank Moody doing that.
Yes, indeed. Do we have any pictures of a Gillian Anderson and a 911? I think I'm drawing a blank here.
Are you?
Um,
Hang on, I've just found one. There she.
have you found it? Have you found it?
Hang on, I'll show you. There she is. She's getting into
Yeah.
what looks like a 993 Carrera 4S.
Oh my word! Look at that.
So she's
you're gonna keep that and go to your
yeah.
second place, aren't you? Yeah.
What she's done there, she's played it safe. She's done well. Thinking, right, I like the wide track and the stance.
Yeah.
I don't want the turbo, but I'll have a bit of 4-wheel drive. That'll do me. Just
Look
play
at
it safe.
that.
Yeah.
All in black as well, not the car.
No, well that's good. So she's got a Land
Ooh.
Cruiser, and she's loving a 911.
She's yeah, there you go. As if it couldn't get any better.
Yeah, that's me sold, really, isn't it?
I think you're all done now, aren't you? That's it. Yeah. It's all you need in life, that, isn't it?
Yeah, happy.
Everything in that one photograph now, and you're there. Yeah.
Yes, that goes back to childhood and teenage crush on Gillian. Yes.
Oh yes, we're all very familiar with that. Yeah.
Yes, but there we go. Let's not get down the dirty route. I came across a fact the other day that I was like completely unaware of, and I was curious whether you knew about it.
Okay.
It's in and around the world of MG.
That's not a name we often mention.
No, this is it. Then this story comes from late 70s, early 80s, so very much troubled times.
Oh, very much so. Yeah.
And apparently there was a date in September 79 that became known apparently among MG people called Black Monday.
Right.
And it all centered around BL planning to shut the Abingdon factory, which was where a lot of MGs were being churned out from.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, MG's was quite an established name because they were still going, they were still churning out cars at the time.
Oh yeah, they were making them in quite big numbers, I seem to recall. Yeah.
So it turns out that there was kind of an attempt by some people to kind of buy the factory, and along with it, the MG name.
Right.
And we'll fill in the blanks as we go, but essentially what that actually turned out to mean is that one particular car was produced. There is, for want of a better phrase, an Aston Martin built MGB.
Ruth, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, that's a thing. There is one.
Wow. Is this a good thing?
Let me. I'll send you a link. You can judge for yourself. There you go. It's one of those things of what could have been.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
it's not drastically different by any stretch.
Unbelievable. Yeah, it doesn't look dramatically different, does it?
No, it's a bit weird, and it's a bit two-tone, white wheels, all a bit odd, but
yeah, front suspension looks a bit high. The grill's a bit different, but it's not, as you say, it's not dramatically different. Wow, I had no idea that this existed. How on earth did that come about? What?
Well, I think the gist of it is that there was this attempt to buy the factory and the name and all.
Yeah,
was it wasn't. I don't think it was all Aston Martin, but it was a consortium but the then chairman of Aston Martin was part of said consortium.
Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. Launched to the press in June 1980. Yeah. Okay.
So
Given the fact that we didn't know this existed, I'm imagining it wasn't a big success.
no, that didn't happen. So,
No.
but
Wow.
that car does exist. That's still a thing. That
Still a
prototype.
thing. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. That is the only one that was ever built?
Yeah, as far as I know, that's the only one.
Probably for the best.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what's going on with those wheels.
Yeah, like we said, it's not a looker, is it?
No, it's not.
But it does have an element of hand built about it. But it went through the hands of Aston, so it's going to be a bit more. I don't know whether that's going to make it better or worse. If we're honest,
I was going to say, in the words of Jeremy Clarkson, hand built just means the door will fall off.
well, I think, in terms of Aston, we were saying that hand built extended all the way up until the 90s Vantage preceding the DB7, because the DB7 was not.
No, well, they were Ford by then, so things were changing. Mass production was the order of the day.
That's it, because the Vantage was, it would already became a thing before Ford came on board.
The DB7 was very, very much a product of Ford. Yes, absolutely. Well, I mean, it was a warmed over Jag, wasn't it?
It was a warmed over Jag full of many Jag and Ford switchgear steering wheels. That everything was
everything. Yeah, absolutely. Yes,
it doesn't spoil it. It's still our favourite.
Oh, not at all. I mean, people say, "Oh, it's full of Mondeo window switches and things." Well, is that actually such a bad thing? The Mondeo of that era was a cracking car.
Yeah, and if you need a new window switch, you're probably going to be all right.
Oh, it's not going to break, is it? Let's be honest.
No, and if it does break, it's going to be plentiful.
Yeah, very, very cheap to get another one. Absolutely, yes.
So
that's blimey, yeah.
Yeah,
they say it was closely based on the TR7. Blimey,
that's all a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah, isn't it? Well, there's a bit of history that perhaps, as you say, what might have been there.
I mean, it's more, what might have been. I think, mind you, if we take it at face value of what it might have been, that might have ruined Aston Martin completely.
Well, it didn't have to take them down market, doesn't it?
I mean,
can't help feeling that would have been a bit of a race to the bottom if they'd gone down that road.
That could have been ruinous, I think.
Yeah, it really could. Really could. I mean, look what happened to Rover once they basically started making rebadged Hondas. I mean, all the brand values and everything that made a Rover went out the window. And keep saying, above all, it's a Rover in the adverts did not help.
It's not aiding your process, is it? And you think they're building this prototype to showcase everything. And, well, am I right in saying that the MGB in its kind of mass-produced form stopped in 1980?
I don't know.
Obviously, it kind of had that very, very brief rebirth in 92, and the MG RV8.
Okay, yes,
which looked like an MGB.
And there were Sebring versions and racing versions, things weren't there? But yes, it did indeed stop in 1980, 1962 to 1980. That's a hell of a production run, isn't it?
As hell of a production run. As showcases go, you probably shouldn't be building that as your prototype to show what you can do. It's not going to sell it, is it?
No, it's not. That's very true.
Probably good it didn't happen.
I think so. Yeah, I don't see that would have done Aston Martin any long-term favours at all.
No, it was just it came up, and I thought that's got to be one that you and I moment to gibber about.
That's incredible. Yeah, you can buy a new MGB now, can't you? But electric. There's a company making them.
Yeah. Where have I seen that?
It was on the Late Break Show.
That was it. Yes. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah,
I knew. I
he
knew
went
I'd
and
watched the whole video.
There you go. Well done. Excellent. Yes. Yes, he went to the place they're making them, and they are cosmetically identical to the original ones, but they are brand new body shells, and with an electric drivetrain. Yeah.
Yes, because I've seen that there are plenty of places out there where you can get the shells and the panels. And that's
Oh yeah, not in short supply at all. No,
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 it's
that's
it's
right.
a
It's
booming
like the
market.
mini. It's like the mini. You can get pretty much bits to build a whole new one if you want to.
Yeah.
Everything is available.
Yeah, it's not an issue, and we've seen as well various channels showing it. But the Mark One escorts, the Mark Two escorts, you can buy
That's
entire
right.
body shells, can't you?
That's right. They're not making them electric, but they are entirely new, and they're not putting a Ford badge on them or calling them Escort, but they are escorts.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
all it is. It's
Yeah.
glorious, isn't it?
Cars like that, mainstream classics like that, where the parts are plentiful and cheap. If you want to do a new electric car but retro, that's actually a pretty good place to start. Because it's all everything you need is readily available. You just might need to mod it a bit to fit batteries and a motor, and you're away. It's not a bad place to start.
No, this is true. People have said many times, if you want your first classic, go and buy an MG.
Yeah.
It's not big money to buy in.
No, not at all.
It's
It's a great way into classic ownership, actually, in MGB.
Yeah.
And they're so popular. There's such a thriving owners club. We talk about getting parts for them. There's now companies have developed replacement parts to fix problems in the original cars. So what you can build now is better than it ever was.
Yeah.
It's clever stuff. But
yeah, it is. It's very cool.
It's a good place to start. And now, obviously, if you can buy an electric one, then even better.
Yeah, you've got all bases covered there, really, haven't you?
Yeah, you have.
Whatever you do, don't really buy this prototype because it doesn't look very nice, does it?
No, where is it? Where is the original?
Apparently, it's been changing hands. I've seen
Oh, okay.
when I did a bit of googling on it, I found various classifieds where it sold several times.
Wow.
So it looks like it's in private ownership.
Okay, and it just keeps moving around.
Yeah, because it was a consortium and never really owned company. It's not sitting in someone's museum. It's one of those ones where you'd almost expect to see it at Gaydon.
Absolutely. Well, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, especially
that would
being
be
a one-off.
Yeah, that would be the ideal spot. But I'm going to assume private ownership for the moment.
Yeah. Okay. Amazing. That's a new one on me. I know that's not two brands you'd ever put together, is it?
No. I'll tell you what. Here we go. On a bit of a tangent, do you fancy another little weird story about two brands joining together?
Oh, please do.
This is one of the brands is Porsche, so
Okay.
but the car is not. In the early 90s, Mercedes produced or wanted to produce a high performance version of what would have been the W124. They wanted the fancy one, the fast one. So it became the Mercedes 500e.
Okay. Yes.
So it had, as you'd expect, 5-litre V8, I believe, 4-speed auto, proper speedy waft wagon.
Yes.
But it was created and engineered closely with Porsche.
Right. Okay.
Which, not a standard collaboration because you'd see them as rivals, especially being based in the same city because they're both based in
you
Stuttgart.
would. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But no, they did. There was collaboration on this because actually, Porsche helped with the chassis redesign of the 124 in order to incorporate that V8 that I mentioned, the 5 litre.
Okay.
So they helped with that. They helped with suspension, drivetrain, and then Mercedes were happy with that. They were very appreciative of the collaboration, and it made for a cool looking thing. And it was ready to go into production.
Yeah.
However, they hit a bit of a snag. So the Porsche involvement ramped up a bit because they found that building this beefed up version of the 124 meant that the wider track and wider wings meant that there were 3 places on the production line in the Mercedes factory where the car didn't fit through
Oh
width-wise.
no. Oh no.
So Porsche got another phone call and went, do you want to build it on your production line?
Yeah, will it fit?
Yeah, so what happened is that they
Oh no.
it got sent off to Porsche and was assembled on their line. I do believe it then went back to Mercedes to be painted, then back to Porsche for final assembly.
Oh, Struth. That's oh dear.
It's a car that you really don't see very often. A
No,
500e. They would have been like properly expensive and very
yeah.
much a premium fast car.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, you got that probably smooth yet powerful Mercedes engine combined with a bit of Porsche engineering in terms of suspension, drivetrain. It's going to be a hell of a vehicle, isn't it?
Oh, that's going to be quite a thing, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely.
And
Blimey.
here's an interesting one for you. There is a Mercedes 500e in the Porsche Museum in Stuttgart.
Really?
Really?
Wow, that's going to confuse people that don't know, isn't it?
Yeah, that's good. Going to wander around and go, oh, what? No.
No, hang on. Where am I? This is wrong.
Mm.
Yes.
So there you go.
Wow.
There's some utterly random facts for you today for
I'm loving that.
collaborations and many
I'm
brands.
loving that.
But yeah, that does mean we should really go shopping on the classifieds and see if you can find a early 90s 500e.
Oh, I think we should, shouldn't we?
Mm.
Yeah, absolutely. That needs to be done.
Yeah, because I don't even know what sort of price point we're looking at for that.
No. All right. Well, if you've got a minute, let's have a quick
Yeah,
shift.
go on then.
Yes.
See if you can find one.
Here. Oh, no, I can't spell Mercedes.
Okay. So I'm gonna have a
Oh.
okay. I found one in the Netherlands.
Okay, right.
So that's coming in at about, oh god, that's euro saying on a quick conversion. That's about £27,000.
Okay.
Which is not obscene. Oh my goodness me, that's got some miles on it.
That's it.
Yeah, that has got 280,000 kilometres.
My word, somebody's had a go at that, haven't they?
Well, I mean, that suggests that all is well.
It certainly does. Yeah, well, of course it is. Mercedes built by Porsche.
Yeah, you're going to be all right.
Like a lump of granite, that. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Here's something a bit more honest and in this country. Hang on. 1991 500e, one that was for auction and sold for just over £23,000.
Well, they're not stupid then, are they?
No, not
If
at
you're
all.
in the market for such a device.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, no,
mind you, this
I'm
was a
drawing a blank.
2019 auction, so that with prices the way they are, that's probably doubled at least now.
No, probably prices are very high at the moment. Yeah,
but here you go. Let me send you this one that's sold, and you can have just a look because it does look like a classy thing, as well as a bit sinister as well.
well, I'm sure it's quite a combination, isn't it?
Yeah, and you can see what you mean about those flared arches.
Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, yes, that's quite pronounced, isn't it? Yeah.
It's a nice looking thing, isn't it?
What a thing it is, isn't it? That's lovely.
Yeah. Please take note, Mercedes. Build more things like this.
Build things like this, and not the hideous concoction you've just come up with for the EQS. Yeah, which is just weird. That is lovely, as you say. That's got some presence, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'd love that two-tone on it as well.
Yeah, that's very nice, isn't it?
Yes,
It just looks incredibly solid, doesn't it?
It does. I'll attempt to save these links, so when the episode goes up, you can click on the links on the website and go and find this.
You could drive that into anything, and you just leave a big Mercedes-shaped dent in whatever it was.
And it's going to look at that interior as well.
Oh, I just found the interior. That's
I know we touched on it before, but my dad, one of his company cars, had the 190. The interior and fabric is very reminiscent of that.
Yeah, it was that era, wasn't it?
Yeah,
doing that. My word, what a thing! What a thing!
Yes, so we'll definitely have a bit of that, and yes, as well. Actually, they matched what happened in his 190E because it's such a big car, but it was 2 seats in the back. They didn't bother with a third in the middle.
They didn't bother with a center seat.
No, it was just gone for pure comfort.
Yeah, chunky. My word, what a thing that is.
Yep, that's what we want. We want. There's a bit of Merc luxury with a bit of Porsche engineering. So happy days.
Oh, lovely. Yes, that's good. I like that. I like the facts and I like the car. That's lovely.
Right, okay, so pop that on the shopping list then.
Yeah, I have one of those we need to pop that place for that in the museum.
Can that be a tenuous link to my dad had one of those as it was from the same era?
Well, you're going to need quite a big card to explain it. But yeah, maybe.
No, I'll tell you what, we'll just do a QR code and they can listen to this.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, perfect. Yes.
Saves me writing it out, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, we don't want to bother with that. You'd spell it wrong anyway.
Oh, that will happen.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll just have this. We'll just have us on a loop playing all the time.
You know, when we were doing the museum episode, we said we could have anything regardless of cost or rarity. I'd have the one from the Porsche Museum.
You'd have that actual one.
Yeah, I'd have that one.
Yeah, I want that one.
Yes. So, yeah, there we go. We're pilfering exhibits from other places.
I think that's fine. Yeah. That's fine. We're going to get more visitors anyway.
Oh, yeah, footfall. We've got them beat, surely.
Oh, I'd have thought. Absolutely.
Yeah. While we're on talking about previous episodes, but just as a brief nod, Automotive Destinations, I didn't put the Porsche Museum on for some unknown reason. So we'll put that on.
You didn't, did you? You silly person, you. Yes, yeah, that's amazing. How on earth did you manage not to do that?
I don't know. That was a complete oversight, wasn't it? So yeah, silly boy. Yeah, we'll put that. I'm just sort of backfilling now for that. So I'm going to say, I would assume that there's a Mercedes one if we've made it all the way to Stuttgart. So might as well go and look at that and all, wouldn't we?
It would be silly not to do both while we're there, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Okay. So that's it. So yeah, we've tidied up a few episodes. We've learnt some weird facts about manufacturer tie-ups. So yeah, another. Well, I know I'm blowing my own trumpet, but I found it interesting.
Well, then someone else might as well.
Well, you marginally enjoyed it, so that'll do me.
Ah, fair enough. Yeah, it's all about sharing, isn't it?
Yeah, that'll do. Yeah.
Well, I think that's probably enough of that for this week. Check us out on all the various social medias and things. Thank you very much for listening.